Okay, hi everyone. Before we begin, I want to show off hands. How many of you have studied the heart? Okay, sleepy crowd. Let's move on. The heart is a very complicated organ. You know, it has a pulmonary vein, the arteries, and the aorta, and the bicuspid valve, and the tricuspid valve, and the atrium, and the ventricles. It's a lot, right? Take a look at this diagram, for example. It's very intimidating. When a student is made to sit down and memorize this, it's very hard, especially at a young age, you know, when the frontal cortex is still pretty tiny. So let's begin. Good afternoon. My name is Devaansh, and our team has created a model of a heart. As the world changes and evolves, so should our educative practices. So why are we still teaching students using this scary image? The heart is a constantly moving organ, and the way we teach it should reflect its functions. Let me tell you guys a story. When I was in 8th grade, we were finally beginning to study the anatomical heart. And at an embarrassingly old age, I asked the teacher the thing that looks like this, right? And she was like, no, the thing that looks like that. And the whole year, no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't understand how that is supposed to work. And in case you didn't guess already, I didn't do well that year in bio. But learning shouldn't be that hard. You know, in my school, we didn't have 3D learning equipment. So it was the book or the internet. But it shouldn't be that hard, right? In the words of Frank Herbert, one learns from books and examples only that certain things can be done. Actual learning requires that you do those things. While it is possible to learn how a heart works by just looking at a diagram, and people have done it in the past, the way the system works can only be seen by looking at a 3D model. That's why medical researchers and students do dissections. That's why they spend so much money on that. Now, when looking for a STEM project, some common examples students might make are a volcano, lungs, and a heart. But that's not a heart. This is kind of a heart. Most models are either focused on showing the way pressure from the chambers causes the blood to flow from one place to another, or how the heart is a double circulatory system with oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. But no model combines both of these aspects in order to create a singular entity that serves a better purpose. Our model aims to create a holistic solution which combines both ideas while keeping our model educational and understandable. This is our model. In our model, we have the 4 chambers of the heart which fill up with colored blood to simulate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. It also contains the valves and all the chambers in the heart, including the veins that connect to the other parts of the body. Most models fail to include the valves, and that's kind of weird because then your blood would go nowhere, right? But we fixed that. The heart is an amazing and intricately designed organ where every feature has an intentional purpose, and our team believes that it deserves to be taught accurately and completely. Now, our heart is pretty cool, but is it TEDx worthy? You know, when you look at this, what do you see? You see styrofoam, you see tubes, you see paint, you see tape, you see paper. They're all simple materials, and you can buy them all from a department store. And that's what makes our model unique. It's so accessible. Anyone from anywhere can virtually make it. We didn't spend a lot of money on fancy equipment and materials, mostly because we didn't have the money to begin with. But we found that everybody from all schools, no matter what background they're from, should be able to access quick and understandable education. Anatomical models were originally invented by Heinrich Wachter because during that time there weren't enough dead bodies left to dissect, kind of gross. And there were also religious reasons with leaders not wanting to cut up bodies. But now that there are more bodies being donated to science and there's more medical research, it's still pretty expensive. It's inaccessible to most people. And this restricts the usage of the model and how people can study it. Now, look at these models. They're very, very expensive. And these are just like small ones. They don't show everything. The one in our school is even more expensive. The problem with them is their inaccessibility. Not all schools can afford them, and not all students can learn from them. Our model is very simple, but the effect it has on how education can be distributed is phenomenal. It's more than a model. It's a reflection on us to distribute genuine and accessible education. It's something that could help a little kid who goes in a public school in a poor district to learn and progress in the way they want to. You and we deserve a smarter, more accessible, and engaging education. I hope this has taught you guys more about the heart than you knew before, and it encourages you all to seek education in all the ways it can present itself. Thank you.